clean layout, and let's start the fight in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And so here we see Flask of Wanderer's Physic immediately from both combatants. Taking center, DarkSoapp once again hugging the corners, getting further away and getting punished there, though getting pressured by Bron, who is just wave dashing, who is trying to start a vortex, but now DarkSoapp gets away here and is now taking back the center. Bron in the corner with a slight health advantage so far. Bron trying to make his way back, but he's getting surprise jumped. Good neutral jump from DarkSoapp right there. Didn't even interrupt a crouch attack or anything, just a solid neutral jump, surprising his opponent, but getting hit a little bit there. And DarkSoapp making further progress in this exchange. 418 damage, getting closer to victory. DarkSoapp once again is just repeating his playstyle of going far into the corners, but it's working out for him. He got yet another neutral jump. Just absolutely excellent reads, 560 damage. It's not that much, but now he is in a range where he could tier skip Bron. So effectively, it is a single hit away from victory. As long as it is not a half hit, he once again, he goes into the wall. He, almost gets cornered there, but he gets away. Now he's just standing there in center, waiting for Bron to do something. Neutral jump way too far away, but hey, the recovery is low, he can afford it, and he's just trying to bait Bron into that one final strike that he can punish, that he can maybe jump over. He's just waiting for an opportunity to get a good read. There, his neutral jump getting interrupted. This is crucial. That would have been killing. Otherwise, he gets a bit more damage in against Bron. The tier is now gone, and he just corner pressures him, and L1 confirms it. DarkSoapp takes the first round right here. Alright, let's position the camera. Oh, that's funny. We have a little bit of a motion speed bug. But anyhow, let's begin the next fight between DarkSoapp in the far corner, 1-0 against Bron in the near corner in 3, 2, 1, and alley. Well, you can count that. It didn't explode, but anyhow. Immediately, we see some buffs on both sides. Bron even can afford to go for the magic liver unpunished against DarkSoapp, so that's going to be a little bit less damage from the carrions, but it doesn't matter much. It is still 468, still a lot of damage taken. You have to respect that as Bron, and he's just getting poise broken by every hit. Once again, DarkSoapp getting in really strong neutral jumps, one after the other, 2 very solid reads, and a third one, and it can be over so quickly. One good read after the other. He just got it over and over and over and over again. And sometimes that's all it takes, just 4 hits. He hit him 4 times and confirmed it and tier skipped, and this is 2-0 in favor of DarkSoapp right here and there. Here we go. And let's start in 3, 2, 1, and alley. There it goes. Didn't explode, but hey, it doesn't ultimately have to. So once again, we see the familiar play here. Bron buffing on 2 things, and now he swapped to Halberd, but it's not really working out yet. He got neutral jumps, he got backstabbed. Just 2 extremely winning exchanges here for DarkSoapp. Bron poises through the Ice Spear, but he gets hit still for 551 damage, a trade that he cannot afford. Now he's on his last scraps of HP. Manages to land a quite miraculous backstab against DarkSoapp as well. I'm not sure if that one was intentional, likely not. Attempts the neutral jump and then the backswing, but no, DarkSoapp understands here, even if it ends up trading against the backswing R1, it doesn't matter. He just needs a little offstock, he just needs a tiny bit of a hit, and that's all that it takes. Now it is 3-0 in favor of DarkSoapp, who so far is leading this in a flawless victory on the Halberd. Anyhow, let's begin the next fight. So far, a 3-0 lead in favor of DarkSoapp. In 3, 2, 1, and let's get ready. So, classic tactics right here. So, Bron is once again using a magic liver and losing the first exchange. However, not because of the buff, just getting hit by the jumping A1 for 528 damage. So far, a solid advantage for DarkSoapp. He's getting a really good neutral jump, but it trades against the jump R2. Now it has slightly evened out because that did a lot of damage. That jumping R2 from the Sword Spear, you have to respect it. Bron is trying to go for some latency shenanigans here. He's putting on the drawstring Rod Grease. He has the offense Rod Dagger, so he's hoping to proc the Rod. However, it is maybe not entirely realistic. The build-up on DarkSoapp has to be close to 0 right now. And with how passive and careful he plays and how often he neutral jumps and plays read heavily, it would be very difficult to actually get the rod. But, you know, here we see Bron, he's getting in some solid hits. He gets the roll catch on the halberd. Manages to unfortunately get neutral jumped once more. It's just really solid reads right there. Actually gets neutral jumped on a dagger. Maybe he thought that he can just use his dagger and roll back out during the jump, but no, you don't have the time. Even on a dagger, you cannot afford to do that. And once more, yet another neutral jump, neutral jump, neutral jump. DarkSoapp just on these absolutely fantastic reads. He has read Bron like an open book in this matchup. Unfortunately for Bron, who is now facing a 0-4 score so far in a best of 9. So this is match point for DarkSoapp at this and now DarkSoapp, he just understands, okay, I have a 4-0 lead. I might be able to win with something fun. So now we're seeing power stance daggers against UGS. That is quite certainly a wacky matchup you don't see every single day. All right, and 3, 2, 1. And let's go. Flask of Wondrous Physic from both. Immediately we see DarkSoapp using the Chilling Mist, so he's probably running a Cold Zweihunter on this build. You know, any build can probably use it. And he poised rates through Bron right there with that Hyper Armor. That trade was surprisingly even, but now there's a tiny bit of Frost build-up and a tiny bit of also Rod build-up on both sides. So that's interesting, and, well, it's not just a tiny amount, it's enough to proc 575 damage, and now Bron has to worry about that extra damage from the cold debuff, 20% it is, and actually manages to backstab the crouch attack from DarkSoapp. Really excellent play, and now actually lands the repeating thrusts, if I'm not mistaken. Just very, very solid backstab. DarkSoapp has to be more careful here. The daggers, you know, you have to respect them still. They do a lot of damage on a backstab. And now he just poised rates. He tries the fully charged R2 as a read, but now Bron is double rolling through that. It was just a phantom hit. It didn't quite roll catch, but it was quite close. If that fully charged R2 would have connected, that would have been killing. And once again, Bron is using those repeating thrusts as a pretty effective roll catch. Now, maybe what he could do here is go for a tier skip, but when he's using power stance daggers and just chipping his opponent little by little, then that tier skip is not realistic. So Bron at a big health disadvantage. He has to worry about that. 418 and a good anti-air. Nice, solid crouch R1 read. 391 damage. Now Bron on his last HP and 80 remains, but no more. DarkSoapp takes this in a decisive 5-0 sweep against BronDaGoat. Quite the entertaining battle, quite the fun matchup. Something that you don't typically see in the finals of a tournament, but nevertheless, I think Bron he wanted to play something fun if he's going to lose anyways. Maybe he already had that bit of a defeatist attitude at the end, but hey, he still put up a solid fight with those daggers. It was great.